Chicago is the Windy City, and 40 miles southwest in Joliet, the MBCS field is about to get blown away at the Chicagoland Speedway. Hi, hello, and good evening, race fans. It's a cool atmosphere and a clear night sky in Northeast Illinois as we're here for tonight's coverage of the NR2003 Mission Barbecue Cup Series race, the Uno Chicago Grill 400. Once again, welcome everybody to tonight's Intercast on the North American Sim Racing Network. I'm Trey Wright, and tonight marks the halfway point in our second 8-race stretch of the season, and no better place to have a race than Chicagoland, celebrating their 25th season of NASCAR and our 2003 competition here in the Big 2025. Alexander Rose stretched his fuel tank to the brink last week up in Bridgehampton, and he was able to perfectly execute his pit strategy to win the Long Island Grand Prix. And for the first time in 5 races, we have a change in the points lead, but to say that it's a lead would be fudging the truth just a little bit. Esteban Lasser came back from a slow pit stop to finish 11th last week on Long Island, and he takes over the points lead over both Logan Williams and Angel Gutierrez, who each trail by 5 points. Carson Miller is a bit ways back in the 8 car, trailing the trio by 81 points, and Alex Lozano has shot up 18 positions in the last 3 weeks with a win in 2 straight runner-up finishes. It's impressive to have an average finish of 1.6 in the last few races, and a 16th place starting spot tonight puts that 11 car in good shape to possibly break up those top 3. Mitchell Collins is back in the top 10 after a 4th place run in Bridgehampton. Riley Sampson remains in 7th. Eric Monaco gains 8 spots to point in 9th coming into Chicagoland. But flanking Monaco are the 2 Otter Island Motorsports entries of Bruno Diacomo and Dylan Matthews, who have not been able to catch a break in these last 3 weeks, and have free fallen to 8th and 10th in the point standings for the 79 and 75 cars respectively. The good news for them is that tonight is only race number 12 of the season, but the bad news is that next week is the halfway point of the regular season, and if they want to stay in the chase fight, they've got to get back into the groove that they were to start the season. But Chicagoland lays out a bit different compared to the other mile-and-a-half intermediate tracks that we visit on the MBCS circuit. The backstretch has just a little bit of a curve that sets up the entry to turn 3 just differently enough to where turns 3 and 4 are the main trouble spots that we've seen here in years past, and it just adds to the unique charm that Chicagoland has. Drivers either love or hate Chicagoland. Guys like Mitchell Collins and Igor Barreto are in the former category. The 2 Titan Fury teammate veterans have both found success here in Illinois, but drivers like Juan Rodriguez and Charlie Davenport hate this facility. Rodriguez's best finish here being 35th with 3 DNFs in 4 previous starts, and similar numbers for Charlie Davenport, his best finish being 28th with 2 DNFs. But with that being said, it's that time of the broadcast again, which means it's go time in Chicagoland. Let's go down trackside and get the most famous words in motorsports to fire the engines for the Uno Chicago Grill 400.
Drivers, start your engines.
And 42 cars come to life here at Chicagoland, and we're all ready for 54 laps of action under the Illinois night sky here in Joliet. Zachary Fitzwater starts on the pole position in the number 99 Krispy Kreme Ford Fusion. Danny Fallington in a rival Chevrolet will make up the front row here in row number 1. Charlie Davenport looking to launch Chicagoland here with a win in that number 98 Ford Fusion, and it's another top 5 starting position for Daniel Bouchard, who starts in the 4th spot. Cole Sampson looking to snap a very long winless streak in that 5 car. Not one since Trenton in 2020. He starts next to the 4 of Eric Monaco, your Atlanta winner from earlier this season. The rest of the field rolls off here. Going to be a 54-lap race with the stages concluding at laps 15 and 30. Pit window opening up at lap 31. Keegan Thompson, Mitchell Collins, Madison Tall, and Igor Barreto are the 4 previous winners. Thompson starts 17th, Collins 20th, and Igor Barreto, the defending winner of the Uno Chicago Grill 400, starts deep in the field in the 38th spot. Dodge Challenger pace car is going to go into the pit area. Zachary Fitzwater looking for his 6th win in the MBCS here tonight. The Joliet faithful come to their feet as the green flag is out and away. Let's get on the go here in Chicago. Well, we said that Charlie Davenport hates this facility coming into tonight. Well, he will lead lap number 1 here in Joliet. Zachary Fitzwater looking to get back to the race lead down on the low side. The high line is the dominant line here for the most part, but Zachary Fitzwater making that low line work in that double 9 car. Danny Fallington right behind Fitzwater. A couple of last name drivers with last names starting with F trying to right now run 1-2. Fitzwater will shuffle back up high, and Charlie Davenport will take over that second starting spot. Nearly going 3 wide into the corner is Daniel Bouchard, once again looking for win number 2 this season, his 3rd straight top 5 qualifying run for that 07 car. Looking a little bit like Ryan Newman back in the early 2000s, of course before Newman was known as the Blockade. Bouchard is known as that as well, but he's looking for a good run here in Joliet as he rumbles in the 5th spot coming off of turn number 4. Again, we cannot document how long it has been for Cole Sampson. I think the winless streak right now is approaching 130 races, if I'm not mistaken. We'll double check that during a break, but he's in a good starting position right now. Started up in P5 for the 5 car. The battle for the lead will heat up. Charlie Davenport looking for his first oval win. We'll cut to the inside of Fitzwater, side by side, underneath of the flag stand. Fitzwater just trying to hang tough on that outside lane. These 2 Fords up in the front of this field will remain 1-2, and they'll swap spots. Danny Fallington now trying to take that penultimate spot away from Fitzwater. Fitzwater will shove it into the corner. And I'm a bit surprised that gone caution-free for the first couple of moments of this race. Again, last year's race here at Chicagoland did go caution-free. It was won by that man right there, Igor Beretta, who's right now deep in the field of lap traffic, 3 wide in front of him. And it's involving the 2 Otter Island Motorsports cars. They got to be careful as Bruno Diacomo right now going the wrong direction along with Logan Williams in the 17. 3 wide in front of them, nearly 4 wide as Dylan Matthews trying to get aggressive. She'll pull back the reins just in time. File it back down to 2 wide with her teammate to the outside of her, and that is the battle for about 30th right now. So not where Benny Watson's team wants to be. Same thing goes for that 64 car of Esteban Lacer, who did not get a good qualifying start. Started 33rd in the field. He's right now in the middle of a 3 wide situation, and Corey Case trying to make it 4 wide there on the outside. That was Riley Sampson who was trying to make it 4 wide on the outside. File it back down to 3 wide, which they're able to run here. There's Toby Murphy still looking for his first career win at the Cup level. Dorn started deep in the field in that number 27 car. And there's Alexander Rowe, your most recent winner here in the Cup Series. Right now battling for that 21st spot with Alex Ambitale on the outside lane. Rich Collins won this race back in 2021 with the now defunct Buck Racing and their flagship number 78 machine. Single file throughout the majority of the field here tonight. Is Angel Gutierrez the best of the top trio in the point standings right now? Fighting Eric Monaco for that 9th position. Caleb Rose right behind him, fresh off of a win in Mexico about a week and a half ago. Being pushed by Campbell Marsh, the only Titan Fury entry that has not been able to go to Gatorade Victory Lane here in Chicagoland. Looking to have another good run here tonight, though, however, in that 31 car. Same thing for John Andrews. For a good run last week at Bridgehampton. He's on the outside. 5 laps to go here in stage number 1. Charlie Davenport has held serve in that 98 car for the last 5 or so laps. Fitzwater lost it going into turn number 1. That's going to open the door for that 16 machine. Danny Fallington, just like with Charlie Davenport, looking for his first win on an oval. Fallington's lone win coming at Willow Springs last season. Davenport's got a win at Willow of his own, and a win at Papyrus was his first career win back in 2021, I should say. That 98 car will continue to pull out front here. In the waning moments of stage number 1, it's been a caution-free first 12 laps of the Uno Chicago Grill 400. Trying to change that there may have been that 5 machine of Cole Sampson. Skylar Taylor right now trying to fight for 5th, and they're going to go 3 wide for 3rd. And Bouchard thought about it, he'll back it down. That's going to lose a little bit of momentum for that 07 and 45. How about Brennan Wilmington? Haven't seen a whole lot of him here so far. Of course, was looking for redemption after last week's race at Bridgehampton. Dominated the early part of that race, won both stages 1 and 2. But he was not able to get the job done, so that 0 streak will go up to 87 races, or 88 races, I should say. Reggie Fogelman still looking for race win number 1 in that 3 car. In fact, he got a lot of CPR cars up in here, up inside the top 10. In fact, all 3 entries are inside the top 11, with Bradley Ream trying to get that top 10 spot away from Angel Gutierrez. Final lap of stage number 1, and Angel knows it. He's going to shove that 4 car all the way to the high side. Charlie Davenport trying to set sail in that 98 car to win stage number 1. Fallington trying to change it, but this battle back in here is getting pretty zesty. Bradley Ream trying to get that last bonus point here, coming off of turn number 4. Stage 1 winner will go to Charlie Davenport in the 98, and getting that final bonus point will be Angel Gutierrez to begin stage number 2. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's Charlie Davenport's first stage win of the season. It has not been a good start to the season for Davenport. Went winless last year in that lone car, in that single car team for Davenport Family Racing. You know, again, we mentioned in the pre-race show that he has not been the biggest fan of Chicagoland. Having a good run here so far tonight, and something happened with Carson Miller. It looks like it was a fuel issue for Carson Miller, so the man 4th in the point standings right now, having to go down pit lane to make a pit stop, and he is 3 laps down. Thomas Troxel also off the pace in the 00. So the way that things are running right now is Danny Fallington trying to draw a beat on that 98 car for the race lead. Carson Miller will get a last place finish. And first 10 races are exactly what the doctor ordered for Miller, but these last couple of races have not been what Miller expected in the cards. The last 2 races, he's essentially been dealt a 2-7 offsuit. If you play poker, you understand that reference, and if you don't, you should definitely start playing poker. It's a heck of a game to play with your fraternity brothers. Speaking of brotherly love, here comes Fallington. Still trying to get around that 98 car. We're about 10 laps away from the fuel cycle opening up right after the end of stage 2. Everybody just running in a line right now and trying to get to that opening cycle of pit stops, and after that, that's when things are going to get real interesting and really racy. Right now, these cars are just barely clipping onto the bottom of that corner. Those Hoosier tires beginning to wear out. Davenport just running his race right now, has led the last 15 laps. Zachary Fitzwater has led 5. Those are the only 2 drivers who have led laps here so far tonight. 10 laps to go in stage number 2. There's a look at Juan Rodriguez in the 48. Once again, not a great night for him so far. However, the way things are running right now, given the history that Juan has at this racetrack, it would definitely be a great night, and a trouble for John Andrews in the 7 car. He is very slow. Not sure if it's a flat tire for John Andrews. It's another fuel system issue. And that'll take Andrews out of a competitive night here tonight. Trouble for the Barstool Camry. If I'm Elijah Gordon, I'm getting a little bit worried, and that is very strange that 2 cars, different teams, different manufacturers had the exact same trouble, but Nonetheless, John Andrews will go about 3 laps down. Top end of this field beginning to wound back together. 5 cars all underneath of a blanket here between Davenport and Bouchard. Cole Sampson trying to be the first car to break out of this line, but everybody just trying to stay glued together. Sampson right now on the tail end of that 99 car, looking for an opportunity to get around him. Track position is going to be the $1 million name of the game here. Once these drivers come onto the pit area, and if it is anybody going to take 2 tires, if it's anybody going to take 4, I would imagine everybody is probably going to end up taking 4 tires here. But who stays out to go the entire distance? And who maybe short pits a little bit to try and gain some track position? Again, these guys can go about 31 to 32 laps is when we expect them to come down. John Andrews will rejoin the field. Currently in the 41st spot, he is 2 laps down. So not nearly as bad. Actually, he may be 3 laps down once everything cycles through. Trying to see where Miller is. Right behind him in the A car. Not sure what happened to the 00 of Troxel. I think he may have got held up by Miller coming into the pit lane. And Andrews is indeed 3 laps down. So he and Carson Miller are racing for that last position. And knowing this track, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest that they would end up taking each other out. You know, before last year, Chicagoland was one of the more violent tracks that we went to. And one of the more costly tracks as well, I should say. I think we had an average of 4 cautions every race in the first 3 races that we raced here. But last year went caution-free. Was a fantastic race between, I think it was, no, it wasn't Mitchell. It was Justin Zindel and Igor Barreto. This year looking to be the similar. Looking to be a little bit same here between the 98 and the 16 who have been running nose to tail for the better part of about 10 or so laps here. 3 laps to go in stage number 2. This race is already flying by very quickly. Both American Motorsports cars deep in the field there. Matt Wolf and Dano Georgi running nose to tail in the 31st and 32nd positions respectively. Everybody will remain on the racetrack for now, but I guarantee you once these guys come down the pit area, it is going to be feeding time. And trying to get that number 1 spot right before the pit stops is Fallington. He's got to run to the inside of the 98 of Davenport. Trying to shoot down low like a Roman candle, but the run picking off on the top side for Davenport. He'll lead them back to the proverbial white flag for stage number 2. No early takers on the pit lane just yet. And just as I say that, Thomas Troxel will come in on lap number 30 to open things up. Oh, and that move there from Fallington cost him a lot of real estate. Zachary Fitzwater on the low side. Here comes Davenport from the race lead. Will come down the pit lane on lap number 30 and will give the stage 1 win to Danny Fallington. So a couple of drivers coming down here on lap number 30, and it's feeding time for about half of the field here. Starting with Charlie Davenport, we'll follow him into the pit area. Oh, and a little bit of contact on the pit lane as well, it looks like. We had an incident last year. I don't see anybody upside down. Davenport will take 4 tires. We'll fill that gas tank full of octane racing fuel as a second wave of cars will hit the pit area. Davenport is out. Fitzwater will trundle out as well. A really good stop there for the 3 machine of Reggie Fogelman. Will leapfrog about 3 or 4 different cars. Angel Gutierrez is out and away. A little bit of damage to the 45 car of Skylar Taylor. That may take her out of contention. Danny Fallington getting service on his 16 machine. It's going to be a close battle out of the pit lane to see where that 98 car will come out. Steaming all the way through the Reese's restart zone is Charlie Davenport, where is the 16 car fighting with the 5 of Cole Sampson, who gets the jump on him off the pit lane. Davenport right now in turns 1 and 2. He's got all the momentum in the world. He's going to fly by the 16, potentially the 5. And remaining within striking distance is Cole Sampson. Does he get passed by the 3 machine? He indeed will. So Charlie Davenport will sacrifice the Stage 2 win to short pit there by a lap. And he will be the race leader over Reggie Fogelman by a fairly wide margin. 3/4 of a second is the gap between the 98 and the 3. But Cole Sampson was able to get up into the 3rd spot there in that number 5 car. He's got a lap fresher tires, and these guys on the yellow flag has come out. And it's a big crash there, and Angel Gutierrez is involved. So is the 90 of Michael Lewis, who's right in the middle of the racetrack. Carson Miller coming in there like a bat out of Hades. And that'll change things here. And our first caution of the evening coming out on lap number 34. And we mentioned how good of a night that Angel Gutierrez was having. That'll be all for naught. He'll go to the garage area along with Michael Lewis, and I believe those two tangled coming out of the pit area. So Charlie Davenport is your race leader here. So we complete lap number 34 of 54. Nobody will come down the pit lane now that everybody has been able to make their only stop of the night. But Fort Lauderdale, Florida native of Charlie Davenport will lead the field here. Gonna get this race restarted with under 15 laps to go. But before we do that, take a look and see what happened to Angel Gutierrez and Michael Lewis here in the mid-stages of the Uno Chicago Grill 400. So this all started all the way ahead of Angel Gutierrez, and it looks like Esteban Lasser was playing a little unintentional three-dimensional chess. He gets turned by Eric Monaco into the outside wall, goes out of control in front of Monaco, and Monaco is going to go down into Riley Sampson in the 24, who subsequently goes down into the 90 of Michael Lewis. And I have no idea how this accident wasn't bigger. Somehow, both Monaco, Sampson, and Lasser save their machines. Michael Lewis, the rookie, unfortunately cannot save his number 90 JBL machine. He goes hard into the outside wall, rear end first. You see 4 wide off of the corner there. I just want to make sure that these guys get through nice and easily, and I believe that they did. But somebody that is not going to get through easily in time was Angel Gutierrez, just trying to make evasive maneuvers down low. Go high, dude. Go high. I don't know why you're going down low, but he is going to pay a hefty price in that 28 car. Gutierrez had a very slow pit stop on the pit lane, put him deep in the field, and that is just a lot. That's acid to the wound right there. For Gutierrez, John Andrews is able to get by, and tough situation there for the man who was going to be the points leader after a bad pit stop, and tonight's incident, he'll likely fall deeper in the point standings. And Esteban Lasser also got some significant damage there in the 64. Did something happen with Dylan Matthews potentially? I think Matthews just got on the flat part of the racetrack and just lost a couple of spots there. So it's an Otter Island car. No surprise to see them having a little bit of bad luck here in the late stages. But we'll take another look at this accident, and we'll get you right back to the restart here with Charlie Davenport trying to defend his race lead. Following in real time with the number 90 of Michael Lewis, who was the wrong place, wrong time, got right on the apron, could not control his Ford Fusion, goes spinning all the way to the bottom, and Angel Gutierrez was there to completely clean the clock of that 90 car. Both those cars have pulled their machines behind the pit wall, so they will be the first 2 casualties of the Uno Chicago Grill 400. It's our first caution in over 2 years here, over 3 years in fact. Charlie Davenport will lead them back to the green flag here in just a couple of moments. Reggie Fogelman right behind him looking for win number 1 and trying to snap a 120 race winless streak. Officially, we got that calculated over the break. Is Cole Sampson in the 5. We'll see what these guys are able to do on the restart here in Chicagoland. We return to the Chicagoland Speedway, cleaning up our first caution of the night. Angel Gutierrez and Michael Lewis were the only cars knocked out of that crash here on lap number 33. 36 cars remain on the lead lap. 40 cars are on the racetrack. We're going to get a little bit of a double file restart here with Juan Rodriguez, Skylar Taylor, John Andrews, and Carson Miller all off of the lead lap. Charlie Davenport has been the dominant driver of the night so far. Reggie Fogelman trying to change that in the 3. Cole Sampson, Danny Fallington, and Zachary Fitzwater round out your top 5 as they go back to the race's restart zone. Green flag out and away here for the second time. Cole Sampson jumps out of line in the 5 car. Campbell Marsh will go down low trying to get around some of these lap down cars. Marsh may have picked a really good strategy as that inside lane working. Here comes the 31 trying to get around these lap down machines. Davenport on the outside, nearly 3 wide, going into the corner. Skylar Taylor puts the front bumper in front of him. 3 by 3 wide with lap down traffic all up in front of these guys. Here comes Marsh to the inside. Bradley Ream trying to make it 4 wide down low. Davenport just trying to hold on to that 98 car. Zachary Fitzwater threads the needle there. He's through like a Roman candle. Side by side for the race lead here. Coming around of 13 laps to go. Making that high lane work though is Davenport trying to drive away from that number 99 car. Fitzwater going from 4th to 2nd here. Davenport now trying to make quick work of these lap down cars. He'll go to the inside of Skylar Taylor, who nearly took him out of the race lead. Meanwhile, they're 3 wide back in deep in the field. Matthew Hubert down on the low side. Here comes Fogelman to the inside of Fitzwater. Fitzwater trying to return the favor, looking to shoot the gap there between the 45 and the 98, and he is able to make it stick for the race lead. Davenport now beginning to slip back. Campbell Marsh in that 31 down on the low side. Remember, we know that those Titan Fury boys are dominant here at Chicagoland. Mitchell Collins and Igor Barreto have both won here in a cup car. Campbell Marsh trying to add his name to that list. He's underneath Davenport there for 2nd. Zachary Fitzwater trying to slip away in that 99. Still plenty of time in this race for something to go wrong there. There's still racing 3 and potentially 4 wide in the back of this field. Brennan Wilmington in the middle of a 3 wide situation deep in the back. Fitzwater still has to navigate around some lap down cars. He's got Juan Rodriguez to his outside. Charlie Davenport trying to close in that 99 car as Fitzwater got real slow. He had to check up a lot going through 4. 12 laps to go. Here's Davenport making his move to the low side of Fitzy. Marsh is there. Bradley Ream trying to join the brigade up front. Where does Marsh go? He'll tuck back in behind that 98 car. Zachary Fitzwater trying to win from the pole here on lap number 43. 11 laps to go here in Joliet as they flash on the front straightaway. A little bit of time since Zachary Fitzwater has gone to Gatorade Victory Lane. It has been a longer time there for Charlie Davenport. Has not won a race since 2023. Cole Sampson right now still moving in the wrong direction in the 5 car. It looks like that 0 streak is going to reach 121 races. 10 laps to go here. And how long do these guys hold on? And do we have another caution? The way these guys have been racing in the back, I wouldn't put it past them. Good run for Davenport going into corner number 3. That's been his strongest part of the racetrack. Fitzwater had to jump out of line. Here comes that 98 machine. 2 Fords and a Dodge and a bow tie. Right behind them are your top 4. Davenport could not make it work. Fitzwater will hold serve for now. 9 laps to go. The intensity starting to ramp up here in Chicagoland. Now Marsh looking for position right behind Davenport. Bradley Ream waiting for either of these three drivers to make a mistake. And all these lap down cars in front of these guys still just holding their own. They're as fast as Fitzwater and the rest of these leaders are. Is Fitzwater able to get through the dirty air here? Three cars now under a blanket for the race lead. Marsh had to get out of the gas, and he'll lose a little bit of momentum. That'll make it a brief mono-e-mono match for this race lead here coming around. 7 laps to go from Joliet. How about Alex Lozano back there in that 11 car? Still a little bit of ways away from getting a 4th straight podium finish, but 4 top 10s in a row. The way that things are running right now look to be in the cards. Ooh, he's going to get a little bit loose there. A little bit tight, I should say, off of the corner. Two of the Pacific Racing teammates battling for that final top 10 spot. Same thing for Keegan Thompson, the first ever winner here at Chicagoland. Was his 4th win of the season back in 2020. Looking for a good top 10 run here for the all-time winningest driver in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Zachary Fitzwater still holds serve here. 5 laps to go here from Chicagoland. Fitzwater leads by 0.2 of a second, and leading by half a second there over Campbell Marsh. But the lap down traffic starting to become a little bit slower there for Fitzwater. Charlie Davenport still looking for his first win on an oval. He has been the A.J. Allmendinger of this series so far in its existence. He's looking for win number 3. Fitzwater looking for win number 6 as they cross under the line to take 4 laps to go. Marsh just looking for a good run here, but drawing a fantastic bead on the low side. There is Davenport. He's got a little bit of a ledge on Fitzwater. Does he take the jump going into turn number 3? He's got it, but how tight does he get going through the corner? Trying to power that 98 Ream Fusion to the inside of the 98 Krispy Kreme Fusion. 3 laps to go as Marsh will draw back in. Zachary Fitzwater, after being in 4th for the majority of the night, caught that brief caution and is just trying to stay alive here. Davenport's got a little bit of drafting help from behind him from that 31 car. Does he try to make the move to the inside? He does. Fitzwater moves up about half a lane. Here comes Charlie Davenport to the inside of Fitzwater. Fitzwater shuts the door. Sticks go high in the air. 2 to go. The race is official from here. Oh, Davenport got very tight going through the corner. That may have been the race if Marsh is able to get side by side with him. Marsh and Davenport now in a deep fight for second. Behind them, or in front of them I should say, Zachary Fitzwater coming around here. White flag in the air one more time around the Chicagoland Speedway. Zachary Fitzwater trying to win from position number 1 and get that 6th win here in the Cup level. Davenport's going to have one more chance tucked behind that 99, but he is in a two-front war right now. Does he make the move on Fitzwater going down low? He had one more shot, is not going to take it. Coming off of corner number 4 from the pole, Australia's Zachary Fitzwater notches another notch in his belt. He wins here at the Chicagoland Speedway. And what a race that was, as usual, as Carson Miller blows up right at the end there, adding insult to injury. One position short for the dominant driver of the night. Zachary Fitzwater, who nearly gets turned there by Campbell Marsh on the cooldown lap, will add another notch to his belt, and he'll be going to Gatorade Victory Lane for his 6th career win here in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe that ties him with Eric Monaco and Keegan Thompson as the all-time winningest driver here on the North American Sim Racing Network. Actually, it is only his 7th win total. He's got 5 wins here in the Cup Series. Tonight was his 6th career win, so that'll tie him with Mitchell Collins, Ryan Durrani, and Madison Tull there for 2nd on the all-time wins list. What a race here tonight. As we take a look at your official standings, Zachary Fitzwater in the 99, who, funny enough, Madison Tull, one of our previous winners, used to drove that 99 car to victory back here in 2022. Fitzwater will get NS Racing their first win of the season here. In a blue oval, their first win as a Ford affiliate organization. Charlie Davenport will get a 1-2 finish for the blue ovals, but the dominant driver of the night comes up 1 spot short. Career best finish there for Campbell Marsh in the 3 car. Bradley Ream in 4th, and Cole Sampson will finish where he started there in that 5th position. Reggie Fogelman finished in 6th. Danny Fallington is 7th. Matthew Huber 8th. Caleb Rose is 9th. And Alex Lozano will keep his top 10 streak alive by barely beating out Keegan Thompson there at the line for 10th. 2 cars failed to finish the race. 38 cars finished on the lead lap with Carson Miller and John Andrews, each a lap down, getting back a couple of laps there during the pit cycle, but Miller blew an engine right at the end, so he did finish the race, but paid the price for it right at the end, blew up at the end there, Darrell Waltrip style. But a quickie race here at the Chicagoland Speedway. These races here in Joliet always go very short, which is great for us here because, hey, it's about a 35-minute broadcast here. And, you know, everybody loves the short broadcast, but nonetheless, that is going to do it here from the Chicagoland Speedway. Actually, we'll take a look at the fastest lap as well. I meant to do that. We do have the fastest 2 pit stops there. Daniel Bouchard with the fastest lap, so he is becoming Ryan Newman there in that 07. Fastest pit stop of the race goes to Juan Rodriguez and Reggie Fogelman. Both those drivers had 14.31 second pit stops. And yeah, that'll do it here from the Chicagoland Speedway. Congratulations once again to Zachary Fitzwater for winning the Uno Chicago Grill 400. We'll do it again next week in NASCAR's backyard down in North Carolina. The POW MIA 600 presented by Mission Barbecue at the Charlotte Motor Speedway airs at 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, May 24th, right here on the NASRN. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Here are your point standings after race 12 of the 2025 NBCS season. And from Joliet, Illinois, on behalf of the North American Sim Racing Network, my name is Trey Wright. Have a great evening, folks. We'll see you next week down in Charlotte.